Hello and welcome to the unsolicited ramblings of an ADHD person at 2 in the morning who is currently in the manic phase of their endless cycle towards oblivion. The internet is a series of walled gardens containing false dreams and digital corporate imperialism, and I am severely, cripplingly worried about the future of what it means to be creative on the internet, because it's become run by people whose idea of a fun Friday night is to work until 10 p.m. and then to go home and ignore their wives and children who are about to divorce them. You know what my favorite YouTube channel is? Boysvik. It's a channel with these short, esoteric, mixed media collages that are just so weird and intimate and anxiety-inducing and strange and fascinating that it's just the kind of artistic ingenuity that really gets my nipples a-twisting. Also, sorry for the sex stuff, asexuals. Just imagine, like, eating garlic bread instead, and that's basically the same thing. The internet has become a series of walled gardens. It is no longer the vast, open wilderness of creativity and experimentation that it used to be, because it has been intentionally carved up and divided into these carefully controlled microcosms, given artificial order through the use of guidelines, as well as an overarching God that every single piece of content must abide by or be punished. Algorithms and SEO are the constant will that molds everything that we see and are shown, and ensures that the most favorable, monetizable content is always at the top of the pile. And then additionally, major platforms have their own advertiser-friendly content guidelines, which gives the algorithms and SEO a sort of doctrine to work off of. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these types of platforms have guidelines that tell you if you want to get noticed, let alone turn this into a job, you better make things how we want you to make things. Your passion had better not involve breaking any of these very arbitrary and vague rules we've laid out. And this is the crux of my issue. If you combine a system that only cares about pushing ads with people who only care about making money, you're going to kill off the actual creativity that exists on your platform. You're discouraging actual creative people from making content because the platform feels openly hostile to them. And the only reason why a lot of them stick around is because they're able to crowdsource funding from other places like Patreon. See, in 2012, YouTube changed its engagement priority from views to watch time. And coincidentally, they also made it so videos less than 8 minutes long make less money. They're effectively telling countless channels who relied on shorter form content, hey broke bitch, pad it out a little bit. Fuck your creative vision. Do you want to survive or not? See, these two things are effective examples of those guidelines that I was talking about here. This didn't cause a natural shift in the content ecosystem of YouTube. This was a company more or less doing digital eugenics on what kind of things they wanted people to make on their platform. And to be crystal clear here, I'm not talking about people who get banned for doing a racism or a hate speech. This is about art. This is about self-expression of thoughts and experiences and personality. And hating women and black people is not a personality, despite what some people try to tell you otherwise. You didn't get shot down by that one girl in college because women are bad. You got shot down because people are allowed to have taste. You have so many toys. Why is this the thing you choose to play with? The thing that I love so much about art and expression is that it is inherently lacking any real definition, any real requirements. It doesn't matter if it's size, if it's color, if it's location, if it's duration. Art is art. But just as there are people like me who believe correctly that art is formless, there are also people who believe that things have to be a certain way. Throughout history, there have been people like this, and in this really annoying day and age, it's the advertisers and the tech bro ghouls who want to gargle their balls. And tell me, for young fledgling artists and creators who simply want to grow and share in like-minded experimentation, do you think it's a good thing to tell them that in order for their vision to be valid, it has to be something that Netflix wants to put a fucking ad on? That it's only valid to get those sweet mid-roll ads, that it's only good if it's advertiser friendly, that their ultimate goal as a creator should be devolving their content from something that they are genuinely passionate about to pumping out whatever the fuck will make an 8-year-old click on their eye-bleeding thumbnails. All of this slowly but surely strips away what makes art and expression and devolves it into content. Things shift to no longer being made for actual people, but for these fucking platforms. The extra bad part of having a digital ecosystem operate like this is not only does it actively discourage certain types of content for completely ridiculous arbitrary reasons, such as the stuff that Boisvert makes, but it also signals to people that 1. You are only valid if you follow these vague guidelines that may or may not make sense. And 2, success means monetization on our terms. I mean, doesn't that sound terrifying? To have the future of creativity and experimentation completely at the mercy of some corporate ghouls and tech bro losers who just want to lock your Zoomer brain with a bunch of AI-generated slop that's considered low stimulus for Generation Alpha?
The craziest ancient Egyptian facts. Number 1, pharaohs commonly ejaculated into the Nile for a good harvest. This came from an Egyptian legend. The god Atum created the universe by masturbation. Number 2,
I mean, we can see it, how people shift their content. And to be fair, I don't blame them. I mean, if this is your job, particularly if you have people to support, family or employees, you don't have a choice. If you want to stay profitable and relevant, you have to shift to how the platforms want you to operate. I mean, people shit on people who do clickbait or dime a dozen spectacle slop, and rightfully so, but at the same time, they are just operating within the system parameters that YouTube designed. I mean, Meat Canyon is effectively stopping doing animation because what incentive does he have to continue when he could just pump out shitty commentary videos for 1/10 of the effort and more money? Armchair Historian is just straight up moving to his own platform, and many video essayists are promoting actual unneutered versions of their content on Nebula and CuriosityStream because ridiculous arbitrary guidelines around vulgarity, nudity, copyright, violence literally only exist to appease advertisers.
Nebula, a streaming service that is owned by the creators on it.
It, like all my videos, is better on Nebula.
However, if you want to watch this video and not hear raccoon noises all through it, please check out today's sponsor, my streaming service, Nebula.
These guidelines only exist because advertisers don't want to have their products and image sullied with disgusting things like a little bit of nudity. I mean, God forbid someone like Toyota tarnishes their perfect image. As I was writing this video over too long a period of time because Baldur's Gate 3 has effectively taken over my entire life, The Verge dropped an absolute banger of an article on just the subject that I'm talking about. It's an extremely detailed and excellent look about how Google's SEO optimization specifically not only encourages how people design the look and feel of things that go on the internet, excuse you, but also about how that affects people coming into the creative industry perceive their ability to actually make things. Excuse you. The article talks to and interviews a number of people who discuss their ongoing internal conflict for making things that they are actually passionate about and speaking and building things in a way that is creatively fulfilling to them, as opposed to just making something in a way that they know will do better in Google's systems, because that's what they are restricted to. If you've ever wondered why all cooking websites have the annoyingly long introductions detailing people's entire life story, this is part of the reason why. They are using SEO-approved templates and dumping it with a million different keywords and hoping that Google's system actually flags their thing as the best thing, even though realistically, it's just battling with a million different other of the same type of obnoxious recipe content in order to be at the top. None of these are the best for people like me, who literally just wants to fucking see the lemon bar recipe. I don't fucking care about this preamble. Why can't you be like your brother? He's so nice. He's just sitting there. Boys of Art made their channel in 2020. And this is significant because this is after all of those changes that I mentioned that effectively highly punish anybody for making the kind of content that they do. This is a person who joined the platform to genuinely make and share art that they are passionate about without any regard for metrics or optimization or any of that bullshit. They are doing it for the art. And I feel like that is rarer and rarer. See, Boys of Art made their channel in 2020, and that's significant because at this point, it has been made very clear that YouTube simply doesn't give a shit about the type of content that they want to make. This is a person who is on this platform who wants to share their specific vision of what they want to make, irregardless of whether it is ad-friendly or not. And I'm sure they'd keep doing this regardless, but once again, this is another example of somebody using a crowdsourcing platform like Patreon to be able to get some support for their creative endeavors, because YouTube doesn't care about them. I'm so happy that there's a moderate amount of people like me who have also found this guy, despite YouTube being at best indifferent to people like them. These eclectic, short, detailed art pieces do not make YouTube any money. I mean, why would YouTube support them when they could just put their algorithmic favor into more profitable places like stream clip channels or AI short bot farms? As the Verge article talks about, there is more and more homogenation and samity amongst everything on the internet, from videos to websites, because that's how it was intentionally designed. The people who design these things don't give any shit about creativity unless it makes serving you ads more annoying. And it really bums me the fuck out, because with this system in place, you could go your entire life and never experience things that could legitimately be your favorite piece of art, some life-changing piece of media that speaks to you, because it's not advertiser friendly. It's not SEO optimized. It doesn't fit within the structure that these people have intentionally designed to fit the balls of as many advertisers as possible into their fucking mouth. I put 2 books on my chair to make me taller, so the shot looked better. That is artistry.